Hi, it's Steve and Adam back again, two guys. Glad to be back with you this week.
So one of the things that we've been talking about, and is it's really difficult sometimes for us to know what portion of our conversation, because we've been talking for a couple hours already this morning, what portion of our conversation y'all be interested in.
Yeah.
And so if you've got questions, if you've got topics you'd like to see us address, by all means, let us know that. You can do it through our website, you can do it through the comment section on Facebook, through YouTube, however it is that you want to get in touch with us. Let us know that, and we'll do our best to be able to address
Yeah,
it.
by the way, this is still a phone. You can even call. It
that
really works. It's a really kind of neat tool. But yeah, we've been trying to think about something that would be beneficial. And right now, there's a whole, and rightly so, there's a lot of concern about physical health. And we're told how to maintain good health. Right now, washing your hands and making sure that you kind of keep a distance from others who might be, have illness or whatever. And so we've been focusing on the physical need quite a bit, but we're more than just the physical side.
And so one of the things we want to talk about today is how do we maintain mental health? How do we maintain spiritual health? And it's important to have a plan for that.
And you're better to speak about mental health than me because I'm kind of a basket case, and you've got some training there. So
There are a couple of things from a mental health standpoint that are important. One is,
by the way, where's that term basket case come from? I have no idea.
not really familiar with that one either.
I'm sorry.
So one of the things that is important is to be able to regulate where you're at emotionally and socially. And that social aspect is how we do that.
Yeah.
And so one danger whenever we start talking about social distancing and quarantines and all that sort of stuff is we've got too much time alone.
Yeah.
Right? From a biblical standpoint, we see that it's not good for a person to be alone. It's also true that the way that I act is somewhat mitigated or regulated by the interaction that I have with others. If I show up and I am mad or I am sad or I am euphoric or whatever else, the feedback that I get from Steve whenever I talk to him tells me, is that acceptable or not? Do I make him uncomfortable or not? What's over the top and what's within the realm of acceptable behavior? And it causes me to change my behavior because I want to have that interaction. I value that friendship.
Right.
It also then helps me to control the emotional side of that. And so one of the big concerns that we have through this past couple of months is that people have been too much alone.
Yeah.
And it's not that you develop new concerns or new needs, but the existing needs kind of get the volume turned up. And making sure that I have that appropriate interaction with other people has been particularly challenging, but it's absolutely vital.
And I think where it's really been hard is on those people who live by themselves, because they're already a little bit isolated, and then this has really done it. And so it's really been more of a challenge for folks like that, I think. And so they have to really be careful about taking care of those emotional needs because it is harder, and they're going to have to be more intentional.
The same thing happens from a spiritual standpoint, right? One of the benefits of meeting together, one of the benefits of having a Bible study, having a small group, or being in a church service is it allows me to take what I read from Scripture and bounce, how do I apply that? How does this fit in my life now off of someone else? And it lets me know, hey, that's a little bit wacky, right? That part doesn't fit. It doesn't really mean that you're taking that out of context or you're putting too much weight on it versus maybe you should think about this. Maybe you should look at this.
Well, and if we have a physical need, we go to the doctor prescribes some medicine, and he says, take this, drink plenty of fluids, get lots of rest. He tells us what to do. If we follow the prescription, we follow what he's told us to do, then more than likely than not, we get better.
Right.
Well, the Bible works a lot the same way, I think. And we have a prescription for how to have good spiritual health,
right. But
if we don't put it into practice, then we're not going to get there. And I think one of the best verses for this is in Philippians chapter 4, verse 5. Actually verse 6, he says, don't worry about anything. Pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for what he's done. 4 good steps right there. Don't worry about anything. That worry is just, it's so pointless and it has no value. Because when you're finished worrying, you still got the same problem. Right. Pray about everything. learn to take everything to the Lord. And you know, here's the thing, is where faith comes in. You got to actually believe that when I pray, he's going to do something about it. He's going to help me with that. And then tell God what you need. I love that. It's just so simple. Tell him what you need. Just pour out where you're at and what you're going through, what your needs are. And then don't forget to thank him. I think that is always a good,
Absolutely.
physically, mentally, spiritually, being thankful solves a lot of things. And so I think he's given us some really good, and then finally, one of Adam's favorite verses, he tells us even how to think.
Yeah. It says, and now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Keep putting into practice all you've learned and received from me, everything you've heard from me and saw me doing. And then here's the promise. Then the God of peace will be with you.
Yeah. And the key is control how you're thinking. Let God can help you control how you're thinking. Watch what you think about, because your mind controls a whole lot more than you can imagine. And so thinking on those good things and those right things, it's going to change you. It's going to help you. And so be concerned about your spiritual health as well. Be concerned about your emotional health. But again, know that God has given us steps, a prescription for how to be healthy in those areas.
We hope that that's helpful, and we look forward to seeing as many of you as we can on Sunday.
Take care.